Alright, so we're back on this thing since we're enjoying the April showers. No, wait a minute, it's March. We got this thing back together, waiting for this lovely weather to clear up. I think we're supposed to get more rain today, as you can see it across the floor in the shop. I guess I need to put a French drain on this exterior wall there. But yeah, it's been miserable and raining around here, so haven't really been able to. Obviously, you can't street tune or dyno this thing in this kind of weather. So got the bumper cover back on, headlights grill in, and like I say, just waiting for some nicer weather and the dyno and everything, so we can get this thing finished tuned, dialed in, everything, get it back to the owner, and that should be that, hopefully. And then in the meantime, I'm working on this thing, trying to finish up where I left off with it. So I got here's my little list I made. So I got a mounted the throttle pedal, had to cut the end of it off and put use the Jeep pedal, because the GM pedal always puts it way over to the right into the floorboard. So I cut the GM part off and welded the Jeep part on there, and it turned out pretty good. I wired the fans. I got to do all of the gauges. Then I got to wire the TCC to the brakes so it releases a torque converter when you come to a stop. I shortened the wires that go to the TAC module. I saw them right there. They were like 2 feet too long, so I shortened all those up, and I got the alternator wired. Just hooked up the shifter cable. I don't know what I'm gonna do about the 4x4 shifter. I was looking at it while I was hooking up to the B&M shifter up here, and I don't know how I'm gonna pull that off. Still waiting on drive shafts. I got to figure out how he wants the tailpipes to come out of the back. I got the ECU mounted, and then flashed the tune that Michael sent me, and I made a list. So it's looking pretty good under here, in my opinion. I don't know about this thing. I don't know if he wants this. It doesn't go to anything. Well, I guess this hooks up to the battery, and then it's got a bunch of switches in the dash, or it's got a box thing up here. I don't know what it is. It's got all these switches. I don't know why you need all these switches, but it has a lot of switches. So I'm not messing with that. That's on him. Got the shifter mounted. It's very close to the, if not touching, well, there's a little bit of a gap right here to the front. This is their plate, and then I had to drill a hole up here for the pass through. And then I hate forward exit shifters, because then it's got to go down and under and curve all around, where if it's rear exit, it's a lot better of a path to the transmission. So with the S shape you have to do, it's just, I don't like it. I try to avoid front exit shifters at all cost, but you know, this was made specifically for this truck, so which is surprising because of how close it is up here. But anyway, I gotta finish adjusting that and make sure it's correct. And it came with some extra parts. I'm gonna start making a harness for this thing for all my powers and grounds and all that, and try to make a connector so I can just have a little pigtail off the back, and then have it plug in up here so it can be removable, and then plus that'll make it easier to put it in the truck and all. So yeah, you can see the gas pedal down there, so it turned out pretty good. A lot better than the red truck I did, because it was a long ways away from the brake pedal. I messed that one up. But anyway, Let's see. So just tidied everything up under here some more. Thinned these wires out. I don't think I need anything else up here, but now that I've said that, I'll probably end up needing something and have to pin another wire in there. I just wired this fan, and then it's got a little fan on the front. I just got those going to this 75 amp relay here. I don't know what all this other I assume this is headlights. But anyway, got all that in and done. The radiator's hooked up. Mounted the ECU over here, and then so there's the engine bay, and then this bracket. This is the plastic bracket from the that the trucks use. So I just cut off all the plastic and everything, because in the truck it mounts this way straight up. So I cut all that off and then just laid it up here and drilled holes and mounted it through the inner fender here. So it's pretty solid. Put the little fuse box that came in the thing here. That's attached to the harness. So I think, one of them is keyed power, and then the other one's fuel pump. So that all came with this wiring harness. Somebody did that, but this is the one that it did not have the stuff for the automatic transmission, so I had to run all those wires. The wires from the harness here to the TAC module here, these are the ones I shortened. It was about 2 feet of extra wire, and it was all balled up. So again, this is Jeep wiring. I don't know what any of that goes to. And then this is these are wires from this box. So again, I don't know. I guess that's for lights. I guess you need a lot of off-road lights or something, because it's a Jeep. Not real sure. But anyway, I thought it was coming together pretty good. Just finally, I want to get this thing ready to go to the dyno, the Trailblazer. And then, again, since we're still I knew we'd be waiting on the drive shaft for a little while. So, since we've been waiting on this truck for a very long time, wanted to jump on it and get it ready and push this aside while I got the Trailblazer ready. Now that it's ready, then we're back on this. I'll finish up much as I can. I think after I get the shifter done, really, a couple more wiring things and the gauges. The gauges are going to take some time, because I'm not real good at wiring. But I'll try to get the gauges done, and then you can see the water coming under that wall. So I guess I'm going to have to put a French drain up there or something, or a gutter, or both, because I can't stand this water coming in when it rains like this. And then I'm also getting I'm getting an AC unit. Should be delivered today, so I don't know if I'm going to put it on this wall, or if I'm going to put it over that roll-up door and blow the length of the shop, or blow this way. I haven't decided yet. Kind of leaning towards up here above this wall, so it'll blow across this way, but we'll see when it gets here. So I'm excited about that. And really the only reason I'm getting that is not for my comfort, because I don't care about the weather. I do not like it when it's cold. When it's cold, it does take a few more cups of coffee to get me going, because when you can't feel your hands, it's not fun. But I'm getting it because of all this condensate. I mean, it's just, with this weather, with 70, 80 degrees and this 100% humidity, it's just, you can wipe and just see the condensate just rests on everything, and it drives me insane. I can't stand it. So I'm basically getting it for humidity control. So, it'll pull the air through, go through the cooling coil, dehumidify, and then I'll have good dehumidified air coming into the shop, and hopefully not have all this moisture on everything when on all the days it's like this, because it seems like this whole winter this is all we had was 70 and 80 degree and wet. So this is a 30 by 40 shop, and I did a 2.5 ton unit. So I thought about doing a ducted unit and hanging it, you know, back here and running duct all the way down, and I don't know, that might have been the better option, because then you'd have with a split system like that, you'd have more surface area for the filter and the cooling coil and everything. But for simplicity and cost, I just went with a 2.5 ductless split wall hung unit. So I'm gonna, like I say, I'll mount the exterior unit, and I got a bracket mounted on the exterior wall over here since it'll be close to my panel, and then get that wired in, and then figure out where I want to, if I want to put the indoor unit here or here. But yeah, I've got to do something about this humidity, because I just cannot stand it. So, but anyway, back on this thing. So I got the tune that Michael sent me in here. I think it's on, he put it in speed density. I got to ask him why he did that. I don't know if he did that to go ahead and tune the VE table with it in speed density, and then the switch. And then he didn't know what transmission was in it, so he didn't do the transmission part. So, but I had already used the Blue Cat program and put in all my parameters. Of course, now we're going from, I think these are 33s. He's got a set of 35s or something we're putting on it. So goodbye, little Dana 30. You won't fare well in this adventure. The Dana 30s just aren't very robust, and then, you know, you put a LS in it, and then 35s, it won't last long. So, but I say that, but then, you know, it'll probably something else or something stupid will break. You know, that's usually how it goes. You're like, oh, that Dana 30 is going to be the first thing to go, and then you tear up something else. So that's always how it went for me anyway. But it cranked up and ran good and everything. Again, just waiting on the drive shafts, and then I can't wait to drive this thing because it sounds pretty good. These are all the wires from the harness, so a couple of them go to the brake light switch, so you got to have the constant 12 volt power when you're off the brake, and then when you push the brake, the 12 volt goes away. So typically everything other than GM is opposite of that. It only gets 12 volts when you push the brake, so you got to use a 5-pin relay to switch the signal. So I don't know if I'm going to have to do that or not, but I did look under here, and I don't know if you recall, but when the battery's hooked up, the brake lights are on, so it doesn't appear that the pedal is making contact with the brake light switch, therefore having the lights on in the back. So when I go to wire this up, I'll figure all that out, get that wired in, and then we'll work on the dash. And apparently we got these two harnesses to deal with, so I'll try to pull these out and figure out what wires are what, so I can use, you know, my power and ground from these two connectors, and then which ones the turn signals and that kind of thing. But anyway, that's where we're at on this thing for now. This thing's supposed to use the stock console, goes back in around all this, so that's pretty neat. But anyway, that's the update on this thing.